We're going to start just by closing our eyes if that's accessible. Otherwise, allow the eyes to come to a soft gaze. And we're going to just take a couple of deep breaths in and a couple of deep breaths out. Maybe breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the mouth. And sometimes it's nice to add that ha sound on that exhale. As we continue to breathe in and out, can we start to slow down the breath? Maybe breathe in a little bit more air on the inhale, breathe out completely on the exhale. We're just going to practice that, just practice breathing. Release any tension you may be holding in the jaw. Allow the shoulders to soften. Maybe even allow the back to feel a little slouched, maybe softening in the belly. That inhale is bringing life into the body. I want you to start to direct the breath towards the back of the body. Almost imagining as though there were a balloon inside of the rib cage, inside of the torso. And as you're breathing in, that balloon starts to fill up. As you breathe out, the balloon starts to deflate. And just a few more rounds of breath just like this, trying to blow up the balloon. And then releasing the air. Noticing any distractions that may be coming up for you, acknowledging them, giving yourself permission to set those off of the mat, out of the mind. And then if you'd like, let's go ahead and set an intention for our practice. That's a personal intention. It's something between you and your mat. Maybe it's an affirmation. Maybe it starts with I will or I am. Maybe it's a prayer. Maybe it's a dedication. From here, we can flutter the eyes open. We're going to start in some seated cat-cow. So let's just allow the hands to come towards the front of the knees. On your exhale, let's press the back towards the wall behind you. Belly button comes towards the spine. On your inhale, we're going to press the heart towards the wall in front of you. Maybe lift the chin. Exhale back into cat. Inhale back into cow. We're here for 4 more of these. I want you to pay particular attention to that low back, sending the breath to that space, lingering if you need to linger. And then finally finding some stillness. We can either leave the legs exactly where they are, or we can reverse the legs, so whatever was in the front is now in the back. Once you've landed wherever it is that you'd like to be, let's go ahead and bring our left arm all the way up towards the sky. Maybe turn in our gaze towards the direction just past that right bicep. And then I want you to figure out what feels best for your body. Do you stay just like this, or do you start to even out the shoulders, adding on a small twist, turning that left shoulder towards the left side? If you did take that little twist, let's bring that left shoulder back in. From here, we're going to exhale, side bend towards the right. Now that right hand maybe places on the earth. If you want a deeper stretch here, take that right hand to the outside of that left knee. And then we're going to gently untwist. Bring that left arm all the way up. We're going to twist towards the left. Let's keep that right hand on the outside of the left knee or the thigh. We're going to find our gaze towards that back left shoulder. From here, gently untwist. Let's extend that left leg long. Keep that right knee bent. Take that left hand either onto the shin or onto the thigh. We're going to avoid that left knee. Bring that right arm up, and then as you exhale, side bend towards the left. From here, bring that right hand all the way down. We're going to twist towards the right. And then gently untwist. Let's come back into our seated position. We're going to do that exact same thing on the opposite side. This time it's the right arm that lifts up. Left hand is either on the lap or on the earth. You're going to make the decision for this side of the body. Do we want to open up, twist towards the right a little bit more? If you did take that twist, let's gently untwist. As you exhale, let's side bend towards the left. Figure out where that left hand is. Maybe it finds that right thigh. From here, let's bring that right arm all the way back up. As you exhale, we're going to twist towards the right. Gently untwist the torso. Let's extend that right leg long, that left knee is bent. From here, that right hand either finds the shin or the thigh. Left arm comes up. We're going to gently side bend towards the right. From here, let's bring that left hand up and over. We're going to gently twist towards the left. From here, gently untwist. Let's extend that right leg long as well, coming into V-shaped legs, or depending on your practice, maybe it's one long line if you have the flexibility for that. Let's bring the shoulders over the hips. Find a nice long spine. Take a breath in, bring the belly button towards the spine. As you exhale, let's start to fold forward. Try to keep the shoulder blades or the shoulders in line with one another. So we don't want to really hunch here. So even if that means that the hands are going to be closer to the groin, that's okay. I'm going to find a nice long back here. And you're going to start to feel this obviously on the inner thighs. You're also going to feel this in the back. And you just kind of want to find that sweet spot for your body. And then once you land, maybe you make a decision to back out a little bit. Maybe you stay right where you are. Just come back to that natural breath. Maybe you start to allow the exhale to be a little bit longer than the inhale. Next breath in, draw the belly button towards the spine. As you exhale, maybe start to fold forward a little bit more. Again, trying to keep some length in the spine here if that's accessible. Your exhale is gently going to allow you to move a little further down. Maybe it doesn't. And then again, maybe just a little bit further. Depending on your practice, maybe your peace fingers grab those big toes. Maybe the hands are on the sides of the feet or maybe on the lower calves, whatever feels best to you. We're here for just another few rounds of breath. And then from here, keeping the length of the spine, let's bring those shoulders all the way back up over the hips. From here, once again, let's bend that left knee. We're going to turn our torso towards that extended leg. Both arms are going to come up, and then as we exhale, let's fold forward. Inhale, release, shoulders come back up over the hips. Extend that left leg long again, bend that right knee. Arms come up, torso towards that extended leg. As you exhale, we're going to fold forward. From here, roll the shoulders all the way back up. Let's make our way into a tabletop position. So tabletop position, shoulders, of course, are over the wrists, knees are hip distance apart. And from here, we're going to engage the core. So all four quadrants of the torso move towards the spine. Keep the core engaged. All we're doing is breathing. If this is too much for your wrist, you can come to your fists. On your next exhale, let's gently come into a cat pose. So we're pressing the earth away. We feel the shoulder blades away from one another. From here, I want you to bring your hips back just slightly. You'll start to feel this along the bottom of the spine. I just want you to find that sweet spot that feels good to the body. And then I want you to imagine an ocean wave. On your inhale, your shoulders are going to roll up past your wrist towards the fingers. And then from here, you're going to duck the shoulders towards the wrist and come back into that kind of cat pose where the hips are towards the heels. So we're going to do what's called spinal threading. That's what this is. Inhale, bring those shoulders up. As you exhale, bend in the elbows. Start to move back. So just imagine a wave. That's the kind of the sensation we're going for. I want it to feel nice for your back, for your body. So if you need to alter in some way, feel free to do so. Maybe you curl the toes under, maybe you don't. Maybe you start to incorporate the chin. And then after about one more of these, we're going to come back to a space of stillness. We're going to make our way back into our tabletop position. Let's extend that right leg long, cross that right foot over to the outside of the left side of the mat. We're going to turn our gaze towards that back foot. So stretching the front of that right hip. From here, let's bring that right foot back over. We're going to bring that knee down. Extend that left leg long, cross that left foot to the right foot, look towards that back right corner. Bring that left foot back in, bring that knee down. Let's just move through maybe one or two cat-cows. And then from here, maybe find some organic movement. So maybe swaying of the hips, maybe making some circles, maybe making some figure eights. And we're going to make our way into a very wide downward facing dog. When you're ready, let's find some stillness. We're going to curl our toes under. On your exhale, lift your knees, lift your hips. Go ahead, bend your knees as much as you need to. Maybe pedal out the legs. And then when you're ready, let's find some stillness. Let's bring the feet towards the sides of the mat. Your fingertips, the middle fingers might be pointing towards the top of the mat. Maybe we just alter the wrist a little bit so that the pointer fingers are in the direction of the corners of the mat. If that feels better for your wrist, you can always come to that if that feels better for you. If this doesn't feel good for your wrist, just adjust your hands in a way that does feel supportive to your body. From here, I want you just to start to soften in the belly, soften in the heart. We're not trying to be super active here. We really just kind of want to release that low back. Remember to breathe, cleansing breath. From here, let's bring those heels in a little bit so that the toes are pointed towards the sides of the mat. We're going to walk our hands towards our heels, and then we're going to bend our knees. We're going to come into a yogi squat. So we're going to bring our hips down. Maybe we come into prayer hands, maybe we don't. Just whatever feels best for your body. And this can be an uncomfortable pose, and it can be really comfortable. It just kind of depends on your body. My practice personally doesn't love this pose, but it does help with like the psoas and opening up the hips. When you're ready, let's bring those hands all the way back down. Let's walk back into our table, our downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, let's roll up to a plank position. And in a plank position, I really do want you to be active in the core, and I want you to actively press the earth away. We want to make sure that our bottoms aren't lifted too high towards the sky. And then ideally you're on either your toes or maybe you have those toes curled under. From here, let's bring the knees down, untuck the toes. Let's bring the torso all the way back down. We're going to take our hands to the top of the mat, elbows are underneath the shoulders, and we're just going to have the nose towards the mat for about a breath or two. We're going to start to move into our Sphinx pose, which means that we're going to gently start to bring the shoulders away from the earth. You may need to readjust the hands slightly to come into Sphinx pose. Feel free to do so. If this is too much for your low back and you have a block, you can place that block in between the hands on whatever setting you'd like. Head can rest onto the block. So that just kind of takes away some of that sensation of that low back bend. We're here for just a couple of breaths. We're going to introduce a shoulder stretch and a twist in just a moment. From here, let's go ahead. Let me see, how do I want to do this? Let me think for a second. We'll do the twist first. Let's cross the forearms over one another. Bring the head to the top of the hands, bend the knees. It might feel really nice to windshield wiper the legs back and forth. When you're ready, let's bring those feet all the way down to the earth. We're going to extend our right arm long, and we're going to come to the palm of that left hand. Just bring up that elbow. Also, if you're going to do it thread the needle, but we're going the opposite direction. From here, we're going to start to roll over to our right side. You're going to make a decision here with your palm, that right palm. Either palm is up or palm is down. Head is most likely on the earth, and then that left foot kind of came to the outside of that left knee. Bring that left hand closer to your chest, whatever feels most comfortable for you. And then we're going to gently back our way all the way out from that. From here, we're going to bring the forearms back over on top of one another. We're going to bend that right knee, bring that knee up to the hip, flex the foot, coming into half frog. From here, let's lift the head away from the hands, bring that right palm onto the earth, lift that right elbow. So exactly what we just did on the left side, except for now we're on the right side. This time we're going to take our left arm, bring it underneath the right arm, so thread the needle, and we're going to open up. So we're opening up into a twist. Whoops, this right hand, you're going to make a decision as to where you want it to be. Maybe you have big T-shaped arms. Maybe you bring that hand around the back of the body for a small bind. Maybe it feels better just resting on your hip, maybe on your torso. Try not to just let that arm just be kind of hanging out in the air, because that's not going to feel good for your shoulder. You're not going to be able to relax into it. So if that's what's happening for your body, just bring that palm back down, even maybe if it's just resting on the thigh. We're here for just a few rounds of breath. Now, if you are in more of a twist-like motion here, maybe start to open up a little bit. Maybe this left arm that's long, maybe that left hand finds the top of that right thigh, that right knee. That might feel nice just to add that little extra pressure into your twist. But if it doesn't, obviously move away from that. One final thing you could do here if you wanted to, that left leg is long. You could bend that left knee, take the right hand onto that left foot, and this come into kind of a version of what's called cat pulling its tail. In that position, this right leg would kind of kick out, but we're here, we're just going to keep those both knees bent. For me personally, this feels like a great stretch. I am an avid hiker. I just got back from Banff and I was hiking a whole bunch while I was there. It was absolutely beautiful. But my body is still a little sore from all the hiking. It takes a little bit of time to kind of release all of that tension. So this feels really nice for my personal practice. I hope you're enjoying it also. If you did grab hold of that left foot, you're going to go ahead and release that foot back down to the earth. If you have that left hand on top of that right thigh, go ahead and bring that arm long. We're going to take that right hand all the way back over. We're going to unthread the needle. From here, let's bring that right leg down. We're going to cross the forearms, bend the knees, windshield wiper the legs back and forth. Now we're going to do that exact same thing on the opposite side. So first we're going to start with that shoulder roll, and then we're going to move into that half frog / twist. When you're ready, let's go ahead and bring those feet all the way back down. We're going to extend the left arm long behind us. We're going to take that right hand, bring it towards the chest, and then we're just going to roll over towards, we're going to bring that right leg over behind the left. Rolling towards the left, whatever feels best for your practice, whatever feels best for your shoulder here. We're going to gently untwist. Bring those forearms back over on top of one another. Bring that left knee up, flex that left foot. That was my joint popping, if you heard that. When you pop your joints, like if you crack your fingers and stuff, it's just really releasing air that's in there. It doesn't traditionally do a lot of damage or anything. From here, we're going to come into our thread the needle. So left palm's on the earth, lift up that left elbow, right arm comes underneath, and then we're going to open up. So figure out this side of the body where you're, kind of what position you should be in. Thinking about that left arm. Remember, we don't want it just kind of hanging out in the air. That's not going to feel good. Just softening in the breath. And again, either staying here, if you want to deepen this twist, maybe just by bringing that right hand to the left thigh, maybe grab hold of that left foot, or with that right foot with the left hand. If you are holding on to that foot, let's go ahead and gently release it. We're going to unthread the needle. Once we do, we're going to bring that left foot down to the right foot. Maybe pause here for just a breath or so. When you're ready, bend the knees, windshield wiper the legs back and forth. When you're ready, let's bring our feet back down to the earth. We're going to take our hands to the sides of the chest. We're going to come back up slowly through a tabletop. From tabletop, we're going to gently start to bring those hips towards the heels. Let's leave the knees closer together. So just slowly start to unwind. Maybe head comes down to the earth or to a block. And then just gently start to walk your hands back so that those hips can land towards those heels. This is another version of child's pose, knees together. That's going to be supporting that low back here. Additionally, we can move into what's called embryo pose. Embryo pose means that we're going to take those arms and bring them along the sides of the legs. Palms are going to be faced up. And then just let those shoulder blades move away from one another. And then send that breath to the spaces that the body needs. So maybe breathing into that low back, maybe into those hips.
From here, let's bring those hands back in front of the body. We're going to separate those fingers, press those hips towards the heels for just another moment, and then on your next inhale, bring those shoulders back up over our wrists. You're going to readjust your body back into your tabletop position. And again, just engaging in the core, just breathe here. When you're ready, let's curl our toes under. On your exhale, let's lift the knees, lift the hips, come back into your downward facing dog. Readjust feet or hands, however feels best for your practice. From here, let's find some stillness. We're going to take that right foot, bring it behind the left foot. And then press those hips back. Let's move over to the other side. Bring that right foot back down into your downward facing dog. Let's cross that left foot behind the right foot. Maybe press those hips back. Back into your downward facing dog. From here, let's bring those feet wide again towards the sides of the mat. And we almost kind of want more of like a wide forward fold versus like a wide downward facing dog. So in a wide downward facing dog, you're still going to feel this a lot in your hamstrings, but maybe you bring your hands a little bit closer so that it feels more like a forward fold. From here, I want you to lift your hips up towards the sky. And then just gently, I don't know, maybe just release, like maybe grab hold of opposite elbows. Just start to release the low back. Maybe hands are on the earth. When you're ready, let's find that flat back, that half back, like almost like a tabletop back. We're going to place the right hand on the earth, and on your exhale, let's bring that left arm all the way up, finding that twist. If you want to take a bind here, that might feel really nice. You would wrap that left forearm around the back of the body so those fingertips find that right hip. If you took the bind, let's gently release. Inhale, bring that left hand down. Exhale, we're going to bring that right arm all the way up. Maybe we take a bind here, whatever feels best for your practice. And then gently release. Bring that hand all the way back down. On your exhale, maybe fold a little bit further. Maybe hands find the back of the calves. Maybe peace fingers to the big toes. Just melting a little further into your fold. From here, let's walk our hands all the way back up into that tabletop, like shoulders over the wrists. If you want to find any more organic movement, it might feel nice to gently sway. And then when you're ready, find some stillness. Let's bring those feet all the way back in. From here, let's bring our knees down, untuck the toes. We're going to make our way into a puppy pose. We're going to send our hands towards the top of the mat. We're going to press those hips up towards the sky. Head comes down to the earth. If this is too much for your shoulders, go ahead, bend one elbow, bring that hand towards the opposite elbow. If you did bend the one elbow, we're going to go ahead, bend that opposite elbow so that it's meeting that other bent elbow. And then we're going to lengthen that first arm, the one that we originally bent the elbow. From here, let's extend that arm again. We're going to bring our head away from the earth. We're going to come back into our tabletop position. From tabletop position, let's make our way back up into our downward facing dog. And then from downward facing dog, let's walk our feet towards our hands. On your inhale, halfway lift. As you exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise all the way up into an upward salute. Exhale, fold. So just warming up the spine. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hold, fold. Rise all the way up. From here, let's grab hold of that left wrist on your exhale. We're going to gently side bend towards the right. Inhale, lift up. As you exhale, big T-shaped twist towards the left. Look towards that back thumb. Inhale, back to neutral. Exhale, let's fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Rise all the way up. Grab hold of that right wrist. Exhale, side bend to the left. Inhale, lift. Exhale, side bend. Big T twist to the right. Maybe look towards that back thumb. Make your way back into your upward salute. As you exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Rise all the way up. From here on your exhale, press the hips forward just slightly as you come into a cactus arms. If that's too much for your low back, you can always bring the hands towards that low back for some extra support. But we're not trying for a super deep back bend here, just a small one. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift, and then fold. Rise all the way up. This time, bring the palms together, pointer fingers are out, thumbs are crossed. I want you to keep biceps in line with the ears, and that's what's going to determine your back bend here. We're going to gently press the hips forward just a little bit and look up. Keeping biceps in line with the ears, maybe you're able to bend a little bit further if that feels nurturing for your practice. There's no competition here. And then on your inhale, I want you to feel the fingertips reach up towards the sky. As you exhale, shoulders are going to pass over the hips, and then once more, you're going to draw a line down the wall in front of you, come back into your fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Let's step that right foot all the way back to the back of the mat. We're going to bring the right knee down, untuck the toes. From here, let's keep that right hand on the earth. Let's bring that left arm all the way up for a revolved crescent lunge, like a low lunge. If you want to take a bind here, bring that left arm, that forearm around the back of the body, bringing those fingertips towards that right hip. And then if you did take that bind, let's gently release from the bind. Let's bring that left hand all the way back down. From here, let's walk that left foot over to the left side of the mat. You can always bring a block underneath the hands to bring the earth closer if that feels best for your practice. From here, draw that belly button towards the spine. As you exhale, we're going to twist again towards the left. This time, maybe that left hand places on that left thigh. Maybe it reaches up. Maybe it reaches towards the back of the room. Maybe we find that little bind. Wherever you landed, we're going to make our way back into bringing that left hand towards the earth, so the left shoulder's over that left wrist. From here, let's go ahead, take that left foot, bring it back to the inside of the hands, and we're going to walk the hands towards the hips, lifting those left toes, coming into a half split. Let's walk those hands back up to the foot. We're going to have that left knee stacked right above the ankle. From here, let's walk those hands back to the hips. This time, let's point the toes towards the earth. So just stretching top of the foot, stretching the shin. When you're ready, let's walk those hands all the way back up. Curl those back toes under, lift the knee, step that left foot back. Let's make our way back into our downward facing dog. Taking any movement or stillness, whatever feels best. Feet can be wide. Maybe we're twisting, maybe we're swaying. When you're ready, find some stillness. We're gonna walk those feet back up towards the hands. Inhale, halfway lift, and then exhale, fold forward. Rise all the way up. Exhale, big T-shaped twist to the right again. That might just feel pretty nice here. Inhale, upward salute. Exhale, T-shaped twist to the left. Inhale, upward salute. Exhale, fold forward. This time we're going to send the left foot all the way back. We're going to bring the knee down, untuck the toes. Left hand's going to stay on the earth. The right arm's going to come up. And same thing here. If you want to take that bind, feel free to do so. Not necessary. If you did take the bind, let's gently unbind. Bring that hand all the way back down. Even out your hips and shoulders. Let's walk that right foot over to the right side of the mat. Bring that right wrist underneath the right shoulder. From here, on your exhale, let that knee maybe wing out just a little bit to the side. Draw the belly button in on the inhale. As you exhale, once again, maybe twist towards the right. Figure out what that looks like. Are you gently pressing that thigh? Are you bringing the arm up? Are you reaching back? Are you taking a bind? If you took the bind, gently release. We're going to come all the way back so that the hands are underneath the shoulders. Let's walk that right foot back in between the hands. Once we've landed, let's start to walk the hands towards the hips, lifting the toes. Walk those hands back forward, stack that knee above the ankle. Take a breath. Next, exhale, hands come towards the hips, this time pointing the toes. Let's walk those hands back up. Let's take this right knee, bring it towards the left knee. Even out the body, even out the shoulders. From here, let's bring the knees a little bit further away from one another. Feet are going to be in line with the knees. We're going to walk our hands back so that our hips come between our heels, if that's possible. Coming into what's called hero pose. Just breathing. From here, let's walk those hands all the way back up. We're going to come onto our bottoms. We're going to bring our feet towards the top of the mat. Once we've landed, let's bring those hips towards the heels. We're going to lower our back onto the earth. Once you've arrived, just readjust your hips and your shoulders. Maybe find some organic movement. When you're ready, let's find some stillness. We're going to walk those feet towards the sides of the mat. From here, let's bring our hands down to the earth. We're going to lift that right foot, cross that right ankle in front of the left knee. From here, we're going to gently start to bring that left knee down with that right foot, maybe walking that left foot a little closer towards the left side of the mat. Maybe come into T-shaped arms if that feels good to you. If the knees are to the right, maybe the gaze is to the left. Let's bring the gaze back to neutral. Start to walk that left foot back in so that left knee can come back up. This time that lifted right foot that's crossed in front of that ankle, we're going to bring that right foot all the way down to the earth, coming into twist on the opposite side. Maybe that left hand is on the thigh, maybe it isn't. If the knees are to the left, maybe the gaze is to the right. From here, gaze comes back to neutral. Let's bring both of the knees back up. We're going to release that foot back down to the earth. Maybe bring the feet a little bit closer. Maybe find some movement. When you're ready, we're going to bring those feet back to the sides of the mat. From here, once you find stillness, left ankle crosses in front of the right knee. We're going to gently bring that right knee down towards the left. Gaze comes back to neutral. Let's walk that right foot in, bring that knee up. Once you've arrived, we're going to let that left foot fall to the right. Knees are now to the right. Gaze maybe to the left. Gaze comes back to neutral, gently back out. Release that left foot back down to the earth. Readjust the distance between the feet to something that feels good so that you can windshield wiper the knees back and forth. When you're ready, let's lift the feet off of the earth. Bring the knees towards maybe the outsides of the rib cage. Swaying or finding some circles. Maybe we come into a version of happy baby if that's in your practice. And then when you're ready, let's release. We're going to make our way back to either a seated position or you're going to stay in a reclined position. We're coming into our final resting pose. Whenever you're ready, go ahead and come to that position. If you want to lay down, just take a full body stretch and then settle into your resting pose. Otherwise, make your way up to your seated position. Once you've done so, just arrange your body in a way that feels comfortable. You can close your eyes if it's accessible. We're here for a few rounds of breath. Trying to mind the intention that you set for your practice today. Finding gratitude for this beautiful gift of breath, this beautiful gift of life, this new day, this new opportunity. And gently bringing movement to your fingers and to your toes.